Hello, I'm Ray Kincaid, and this is Kristen Lange here from Meta-Physiques Personal Training, and we're back on with our video blogs. We've been off for a little while, I know, but we're going to get some more helpful hints across for you. And this morning, a daytime TV show I was watching was putting all the latest fitness gadgets and applications and stuff across, all this hoopla, and I said to myself, I don't know when fitness got so damn complicated and sophisticated, but so I'm going the opposite grain today, and I just want to get back to some raw basics, and I'm going to show you a quick, easy plan that can be done with nothing but a flat bench right here. So Kristen's going to demonstrate the moves for us, and the first one we're going to look at here, this is sort of like a static lunge, but it can be a little bit softer on the joints. And what we're doing here is we got one leg placed ahead. Let's bring this knee up just a little bit closer to the bench there, Kristen. And we're dropping the knee in nice and slow towards the ground and bringing it out. What that's allowing her to do with her support on the bench is to keep a little bit better alignment, and it keeps this knee from going over the toe right here. So this is a nice, safe exercise. It can be done by beginners and advanced alike. And it's just one that I really like. Let's do another round of those on each side so they can kind of get a good idea, Kristen, what's going on. Let's go 10 on each side there. She wants to exhale coming out of it. Exhale, in on the way down, out. And if that's a little bit too aggressive for you at first, come up onto your hands, Kristen, show them how they can do it. That's a little bit less because you're not so folded over. A little less pressure on the joints there. Again, you're just keeping that knee nice and close to the bench and doing most of the work from here, just dropping that back leg in and out. It puts a nice stretch on the hip flexor all through the front of the thigh, the quadricep, and all of that good stuff there. All right, we're going to move through these kind of quick, so I hope everybody can catch everything. You've seen this. This is a basic plank position. I know you've seen it at some point. The bench, elevating this makes it a little bit easier than being on the floor flat. We're going to make it active though. We're going to move through it. Working the quadriceps here a little bit and the abdomen all in one move. She can lock in the abs right here. When she pulls back to here, the thighs are getting some work. So she's just taking the glutes and pulling them back towards the heels. This one's kind of difficult to get down in the right pattern. So make sure that your body pushes up over the chest. Anytime you're in the chest, or anytime you're in the plank rather, the chest is right over top of the elbows here. So that's where you end up. She's taking the body, reaching it back towards the heels, thrusting forward. I call it a lurch, lurching up into the plank right here. Inhale, exhale. Into that plank and out. Kind of an intermediate move. This one's not extremely difficult, but can be done by intermediate to advanced, definitely. Great move. Nice. All right, we're moving into this one here is a little bit more advanced. If you have access to something that can be held from above to give you a little stability, sometimes we use the ab straps here to give a little support on this step-up maneuver. And it's going to be a little bit more aggressive on the knees, but nonetheless a good move. She's sweeping up on there. You can bring the foot off like she's doing, or you can keep it directly up on the bench. And to add a little something into the glutes right here, she's just taking that leg and popping it back there a little bit, putting a little squeeze on the glute. The toes pointed to allow that to happen there. Try coming in a little closer to the bench, and you'll emphasize that just a little more, Kristen. There you go, good. You can use those arms, kind of sweep them up when you go up. That helps me with my balance on the move. She's being careful not to get that knee too far over the toe on that as well. That needs an exhale right there. Coming up through it. Traditional strength training style breathing. Exhale, coming down. The biggest one on this is coming down very, very soft. I tell people I don't want to hear your feet hit the floor. Real soft, because you get a lot of extra work out of the negative portion of this move if she can be controlled as she's coming down. Really fighting that resistance, coming down with a lot of control, nice and smooth. So those are some good thigh exercises, and I incremented them that way from kind of like the softest one up to the harder one there. She warmed up with that first static lunge maneuver. Let's go up into the arms a little bit here, Kristen. Let's look at the side of the bench. This is one that's very popular. This is a tricep dip off the side of the bench. A couple points to remember on this is that she's dropping straight down. A lot of times people have a tendency to wander off this way as they drop down the bench, putting more stress and strain on the shoulders and not where it needs to be here on the triceps. So we want to keep those elbows angled in instead of out, straight up, straight down. And what she's doing with the legs here, rather than just having both feet flat on the floor, is she's got it crossed. That's putting a nice stretch in the glute and the hip there. Something we really like to do around here is a lot of hip stretching because it's all connected to lower back pain and things like that. So you want to keep those hips and glutes nice and flexible. Exhaling on the up, inhaling on the down, traditional strength training breathing. Good. All right, you would just break a 90-degree angle with those arms and you're coming down out of that dip. Let's see, we want to look at the abs now. We've got a two-part series on this ab move. Go all the way up to the top of the bench, Kristen, and you want to sit on the hands there. Put those hands right on the top. Keep coming up a little bit more for me. Good. All right. Kind of like knee-ups, the old-fashioned knee-ups. Show them the old way of doing that, Kristen, or the more traditional way where you're stretching straight out. Let's look at the difference there. See how the legs are kind of going out at this 45-degree angle and pulling up, and the chest is kind of pulling up. That one's it's a great ab move. It's a little aggressive. If you're more of a beginner, this is a great way to kind of work into that. You're dropping them right off the edge. She's keeping those heels in close to her. It's kind of like a swivel. Lower legs are working on this action right here, pulling towards the chest. It's a little bit softer on the lower back. Let's give that 3 more. Exhaling into it. Good. Now she's going to roll right back, and we're going to keep knee raises going. This is where it gets tough because we're taking those 2 exercises and immediately going to the next one. If your bench has an angled pad, you can sit that up if your neck tends to bother you, laying flat down, or you can use a soft cushion or something to elevate your head a little bit. I know I have some people complain about neck pain when they're laying completely flat on some of these moves. Again, keeping the hands under the glutes, that also softens the impact on the lower back just a little bit. And this knee raise, when you're doing a knee raise, you're really keeping those heels in close to the glutes. She's dropping right off the edge. Again, it's that pattern that's just a circular pattern coming up there rather than taking the legs. Show them how to do it wrong. You just kind of let those legs wander out here. That's putting a lot of extra strain on the lower back right there. So just keep that form real nice and tight there, swiveling it. That's the right thing I was looking for, is a swivel right here off the edge and back in. Exhaling, inhale. Good. Nice. Let's go through that pattern one more time, 10 and 10 each, Kristen, just to re-edify the first move and the second move so you can get it down there at home. Good. Swiveling it right off the edge. And I hear her breathing kind of hard, so I think it's working in the lower abdomen a little bit. So it's a move that I feel like intermediate people can do as well as advanced, and just basically adjusting the rep range really tears up the stomach. So a little exercise. 3. Exhale. Good job. All right, let's look at one more move before we head out today. Looking at a side plank. So we looked at the front plank, side plank. You're on one elbow. You've probably seen this one before. This is another popular move right here. So we can again make this a little active. Do something a little bit different with this. Going to drop it in and lift it off. If you got like a light 3-pound, 2-pound, 5-pound dumbbell, you can put it in this hand right here. Let this drop down, come up with it to the shoulder level. Now you're working side lateral raises into there. And you're working this shoulder too, because it's supporting you, as well as the oblique, the core, all that good stuff. Great oblique workout right here. And when she's coming up out of that, she's crunching that side, really squeezing it good. When you're doing that side lateral though, just come up about level with that shoulder right there. That's as high as you need to take it. You you take side laterals above shoulder plane, it's no longer doing what it's supposed to be doing. Feet position here is stacked on top of each other. Let's flip it out to the other side there. Kristen's showing me what it looks like from that angle. Good, there you go. It's almost like I like to think about making a U out of the torso there at the top of that move, making a nice bend in there. Really squeezing up into those muscles. This one's going to be a little bit tougher. Again, an intermediate. This whole program, a little bit more intermediate to advanced, but you know, you can make the necessary changes to kind of work yourself and adjust yourself into these moves. And I'm Ray Kincaid, this is Kristen Leininger, and thanks once again for joining us on our video blog. If you have any questions with any moves you ever see, come visit us at brandonpersonaltraining.com. Look for the links down below, and make it a great day. We'll see you soon.